DeerHunterFan.com TV is sponsored by Buck Yeah, Longhorn Fab Shop, Muddy Outdoors, Ridge Runners Guide Service, Scent Blocker, Spy Point, Steady Form, Sinclairville Seed Company, Timberland Realty, and also by these fine sponsors. Hi, I'm Brian Madison with DeerHunterFan.com TV. On this week's show, we are going to focus on what a good food plot can do for you in the early season. And some great examples of that we're going to show you is that this past week and a half, past 2 weeks, the acorns in the woods have been falling hard, giving the deer a reason to not go to any food sources during daylight hours at all if they didn't want to. It's hard to hunt deer that are eating acorns because they're not necessarily using trails. A lot of times they're just kind of wandering through the woods, browsing as they go along. So it can be very hard to hunt them. I did have an encounter in some acorns with a buck, actually a group of bucks. One buck that I think about shooting, but most of the action that we've had over the last few weeks have been on food plots, and you're going to see that. Both plots are the full draw food plot from Sinclairville Seed Company. I'm going to show you a lot of action with Ben Sample and then myself, as I had an encounter with a young 8-point a couple of times, and then this other buck, as I said. I'll show you that as well. And tonight I'm hunting on the food plot. If anything goes down, that'll be at the very end of the episode.
Out today here. If he comes out 10 minutes earlier than he did yesterday, we'll be in business. We'll be able to get a shot at him. But it's getting to be that time of year. You know, any day these bucks are going to just get a little more active, and then all of a sudden it's just going to explode and they're going to be everywhere. So we'll see what happens here tonight. We're just after a buck. We're not messing around with doe.
It's about 10:30 in the morning, October 14th. It's a Wednesday. I'm gonna go out now, check a couple different trail cams. I'm gonna check the food plot trail cams because I gotta decide where to hunt tonight. I'm thinking the hot acorn spot in the woods. Thinking all those acorns are about picked up. Don't hear any more falling from trees. Didn't see any deer my last set there. So I think that possibly in the mornings I might give it one more shot, but after that I'm going to be moving on. That acorn stuff, it's finicky. When it happens, it's hot, and when it's over, it's done, man. The deer move on, go back to different patterns. So I'm gonna go check some trail cams, put out my brand new 5-point Iron 10 I just got in because I need another camera, and we'll go from there and make a decision for this afternoon. So with this buck here, he's a 7-point, decent mass. I have trail cam pictures of him from last year, and he had the exact same rack. So I don't think he's ever going to straighten out as far as rack goes. And now I noticed that this year we have a 1.5-year-old buck that has the exact same rack. So I thought about it, didn't have to think too hard. If I get the chance at him, I'll shoot that 7-point. That 8-point, we're going to let him go and see what he can turn into. He's a nice young buck. But as I was saying earlier about the food plots, you saw with those bucks with Ben, those are two beautiful young bucks that Ben's gonna let go, and the one especially, for being a young buck, has good mass already throughout his main beam and also in through his tines. So he plans on doing even more food plot work there. It's a new property for him. He plans on doing even more food plot work with Sinclairville Seed Company next season. And I do here as well, as this season's taught me a couple things already with the food plot and how valuable it is that I need some other options to hunt food plots when the wind's not perfect for the food plot that I have. I need variable options so that no matter what the wind's doing, when it's like this and those deer are pounding that Sinclairville Seed Company food plot, we need to be hunting them. So can't be having to miss a hunt because the wind was wrong, and I had a buck come out to the food plot 15 minutes after dark the other night when I wasn't there. But who's to say he wasn't out in the food plot earlier and the camera caught him there? So, you know, it's something to keep in mind. And also keep in mind, if you're not seeing these bucks or you're just getting glimpses of these bucks on your cameras, keep in mind that a lot of these cameras have second delays, and if deer are coming out in big groups and marching out in that field like you so often see them do, they'll come out and march right for the middle of the field. That first deer is going to trigger that picture, or that 3-picture burst. That third or fourth deer out in the group could walk right past that camera. It's not going to trigger for another 60 seconds. So keep that in mind too, so don't get discouraged if you're not seeing shooters on your plot. If you're seeing deer on your plot, period, that's a good spot to hunt, especially coming up here in the next few weeks. If you got deer out there in the evening times, you might want to be there, because bucks are going to start to come to these fields that these doe are hanging out in heavily, start to cruise the edges of them. Might not give you the perfect shot from your stand placement that you have set up. Don't be afraid to take a climber and get back in the woods a little bit on these trails, because the bucks, a lot of times if they come out, they'll get to the edge of the field, look out, if they don't see anything, they won't even go out there. So keep that in mind. I'm Brian Madison with DeerHunterFan TV. We'll see you next time.
DeerHunterFan TV is sponsored by Buck Yeah, Longhorn Fab Shop, Muddy Outdoors, Ridge Runners Guide Service, Scent Blocker, Spy Point, Steady Form, Sinclairville Seed Company, Timberland Realty, and also by these fine sponsors.